I was a worship leader. And the Lord really illuminated Romans 12, um, 1 through I think 4, in this idea of laying your whole life down as a living sacrifice, that is your spiritual act of worship. So for me,
Right.
there was this moment when I gave back this job I loved. Frankly, I gave back being on a platform all the time, encouraging people, leading people in worship, teaching, to do this in my home. And it was at that time where I felt completely invisible and broken and wondering, like, Lord, this was supposed to be like this add to our life that was just going to make it that much fuller and more beautiful and wonderful. But I was going to still get to do everything else I love to do. I did not get it. And for me, in my heart of hearts, I just felt the Lord say to me, I'm calling you to encourage other families like you. I'm calling you to tell them that I did call them and I have not abandoned them. And that ultimately was the call to start Finally Home. It made no sense, really, even what you described, Dwayne. It doesn't make any sense in terms of bandwidth, in terms of resources, nothing.
Mhm.
But I felt so clearly in my heart of hearts that God was calling me to encourage other families like ours, in the most discouraged time, at least to that point in my life. I just was like, okay, Lord, I need you to show me how, but I will do it. I want to tell your people that you did, because it can be very confusing when the thing you say yes to, your obedience, especially as a younger person, it can be incredibly confusing when obedience leads to pain. But what we know is that that is so clearly described in the Bible. The problem is we misunderstand. So anyway, that is where the birth of Finally Home came in the midst of the chaos.
Well, I have to, I'll confess here, this is timely in my own life, just so you know, as I pray through time on the platform, as you were saying. Right now, I work as an interim pastor and time in the household with my kiddos that God brought me from a different family. And so, anyway, what you're saying, I hear you. It is hard and it is sacrifice. And so often um, we think that sacrificing is going to come without pain and without hardship. It's like, hey, God, I threw in that dollar. Now I'm going to win the lottery, right? When we're called to this ongoing life of sacrifice and ongoing giving, and the rewards are far beyond and outside what we would have imagined.